The tool we're going to feature today is the Pocket Punch Board by We Are Memory Keepers. So this is what you get. This is the board. This removes because this is the blade, and that's the track that it goes in. And then it makes two types of pockets. It makes a pocket with, I've been playing, so it makes a pocket with the flip tab, and then it makes a pocket that you can cut a notch out of it. So you can make two types of pockets. Then you have these guys. Up here, it's 1, 2, 3, and that'll come in to play. And then here, it's A to F. So that depends on the size. And then down here, it also has A, B, C, D, and that's so that you can center your pocket. So this is a punch so that you can punch out the notch. Then you have two extendable arms here, and that's so that you can score your pocket. Then when you flip it over, that always comes out, so you got to be aware of that, but that's to help us size. And then you have the little scoring tool, so you have everything that you need. You literally don't need anything else. You don't need to get anything from your stash to work on this as far as making it. Now to glue it together, I'm going to do it two different ways. I'm going to use some wet glue, and I'm going to use a 1/4 inch score tape. The instruction sheet. So that's, once you figure out your size, then once you have everything cut out, then you move on to this. Now here you have the pocket size. So whatever size you want your pocket. And it is accurate. Like I did this one right here. This one right here. I wanted the pocket to be 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. So I cut, then you have, it tells you the guide label. And that's, remember I said these two things. One was letters, one was numbers. So that's where you have to put those little guides. And then it says what size you have to cut your paper. So the first one is paper size with the flap, and the second one is paper size notch. Now I did the 2 3/4 by 3 1/4, and it came out, it's exactly that without the flap. So it's 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. It's perfect. So I think I'm going to make them a little bigger this time. So we're going to go down here and make them a little longer. Like I think I'd probably want them, maybe that was 3 1/4. I think I'd want like 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. So it says here that I have to put my guides at D. So it goes this way, A, B, C, D, and then 2, and it's already at 2. Another thing, there's little arrows on this, and I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see that. But this one here, it says to make sure to have the arrow pointing down, because this is the way you're supposed to put your punch board on the table. So this arrow here with the numbers should be pointing down, and the one with A, B, C, D, F should be, the arrow should be pointing to the right. Okay, so before we do this, let's talk about what kind of paper should you use. Now, I would use, you can do it with cardstock, but your envelope is going to be, or your pocket is going to be really stiff. So I would use some pattern papers. Now, double-sided would be best. Now, this looks amazing, right? But then this side, I don't find it leads to a good side. So I'm not going to do this one. So, look at both sides of your pattern paper. Now this one I think is going to be perfect. And what's going to happen is that you're going to have a pattern paper on the outside. So you decide what you want on the outside, and you can decide that after. And then you're going to have color on the inside, and that's perfect. You can use just one-sided paper, and then the inside would be white. You would flip it so your pattern paper would be on the outside, and then this side would be white. But I wanted color on the inside. So let's figure out the size that we want to cut this. Okay, so this is the one that I wanted, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 D2. So I need a sheet of paper that's 7 by 5 3/4 and 7 by 5. And I cut them both at the same time, you know, like, and then I just have to remember which one is which. So 7. So the first one was 5 3/4. So right here, 5 3/4. So 5 3/4. And then 7 by 5. So I'm going to bring that to 5. Okay. And look, we've only wasted this much. Not too bad. Now we're going to do the one with the flap first. So flap first. So we want our bigger one. Now when you set your paper down, it says place guides into slots according to chart, which we did. Then it says position paper under track. First chart measurement should be placed under the numerical guide. So the 7 part, because it was 7 by 5 3/4. So the 7-inch part should be under the numerical part right here. So the 1, 2, 3 is up here. So that's how you need to do that. Now, do I have, oh, this is the notch, but you start the same way anyway. So cut corners of paper. So there's a little knob here. So you put that in your track, hold your paper, and cut. Then it says to flip the paper and repeat. Okay. The instructions are very, very clear. And, you know, if it doesn't make sense to you, there's always YouTube videos, right? I can't remember if I did one on this on YouTube or not. Way back. And then it says to flip and repeat. Okay. So then we're going to flip our paper, again, keeping the 7 over under the numeric. So I didn't flip it this way. I just flipped it. So I didn't flip it this way, right? I only did that once the 2 knobs, the 2 notches were done. I flipped it this way so I could do the top. But at this point, then I'm going to flip it horizontally. Okay. Then, oh, I'm trying to put the knife in the track. No, put this part in the track. Okay, so now it's done. At this point, it tells you to open up your flaps. Where I've been playing this morning with it, they're already open. This is where you're going to score your paper. Now, I don't know if you can tell, there is little notches here to kind of guide you where the notch is going to begin. So start your scoring tool there, so at least you know exactly where it's going to score. And then there's one vertically too. So might as well do that one while we're at it. Then we're going to flip our paper, right? And then we're going to do the horizontal. Make sure you're tight up against here and tight against the top, because then your scoring is going to be crooked. So again, I'm going to do the scoring, the vertical, just like that. And for this one, we're done with this one. Then all you have to do, decide which side you want as your outside paper. I think I'm going to do the bees because I think it'll be cute to have the yellow on the inside. Then score. You can, it's already scored, but crease it, you know, with the bone folder. And then do the bottom part so it's nice and crisp. And then all you have to do, you glue down your big flaps first. So the first one we're going to do with some glue. So just make sure you put it you know, close to the edge here. Don't put too much glue because then it'll ooze on the inside and then it'll glue your paper on the inside. Okay. So what you can do too is make sure that it's not touching. So push it down. I have to say the glue is not my favorite because you have to be really careful or not put a lot, right? And then put a little bit of glue here and then glue it down. Okay, our pocket is done. Now let's do the notch one. So we have, this one was 7 by 5. So we're going to put the 7-inch over here. Once you've put your guide in, the only thing you have to remember is put your long edge under the numbers, and then we're going to do the same thing. So this side is for the flap, this side is with the notch, and the beginning is exactly the same. We're going to cut the 2 flaps, but then it stops there. You don't need to flip your paper and do the 2 notches at the bottom. You don't need to do that. The very next step is you open this and you start scoring. And we're just going to have 3 scores to do this time. So you start here, score like this, score this way, then flip, make sure you're tight, score like this. Okay, now we're done with this part of the pocket tool. We're going to need it one more time with the to do our notch here. Okay, so same thing. Do I want to do, no, I'm going to do it the other way still. Okay. Do this and this. Score, score. Okay. Then when you put it together, you do the 2 big flaps and then this way. And this is your envelope. And this time we're going to use some score tape. So all you have to do is now push this down and then this up and you have your pocket. And this time we're going to use some score tape. And score tape, what I like about it is you don't need scissors. So it cuts easily with your hand. And then you just peel this off, put it down. And then I'm just going to put, I guess I didn't have to cut that down. I'm going to put this here like that. And then we'll take this off. And this is not messy. That's what I like about the score tape. There's no oozing glue. There's no, it's just unmessy. You just have to make sure to choose the right size of score tape. Okay. Now you take this, and this is where you have to remember your guide. So you went to D this time. So whatever you chose here as your letter, then you center, this is how you center your envelope. So I brought my envelopes on each side, it's touching the D letter. And then I know that my notch is going to be right in the middle. And there you go. There's our other pocket. Now you can glue it on your page this way, or you can show, you know, that right here. For this one, I probably put it this way. And then this one, see how this is all wrinkly? That's why I like the score tape much better, but that's okay. It'll dry. So this one, I probably put it face up like that because then you're not going to see anything. So we'll use one of these on our layout when we make our layout. I'm just going to put all this away and then we'll put our page together. And what I like before we start making our page is that everything is stored on this. So I don't have to wonder where is the measurements, you know, that I need to cut the pockets. Where's a scoring tool? Where's a cutter? Everything is just right here. I just wish, the only thing I wish is that they would have made a little slot for your instructions. Because I don't use it enough, I'm always, you know, every time I use it, I use the instructions. So I'll probably just take a piece of Scotch tape and just tape this to the underside so that it stays with it. Okay, so let's get started. We'll cut the branding strip off of this. Then I'm going to use one photo. I was going through some old iPhones and I found the picture of, this is the girl that I found out on our trip that we were cousins and we had never met before. We were both born in the same city, but we didn't go to the same schools. And yeah, we're relatives. We found out on the trip and it was funny because it was the first night. And anyway, it was pretty cool. So this was about a month later because we both went to Crop and Create. And then we took a picture together and then we looked at the picture and we're like, oh yeah. We are definitely family. Like we look so much alike. It's funny. And it took us, you know, taking the pictures side by side for us to, you know, realize, yeah. Definitely. I like this, okay, but I don't want all of this, so I'm going to get a 2.5-inch punch, and I'm going to cut it out, and I'm going to put it on top of that envelope. Just like that. It's almost perfect. Did it punch? There we go. There we go. And then I'll put it in front like this. Let's put that down right away. And we're both into scrapbooking, so that's pretty cool. Okay. And I have this little flower banner here, or strip. I'm going to put that at the bottom. Might as well put it on right now because I know that's what I want to do. Do I want to put it at the top or at the bottom? I think at the bottom. I'm trying to think if I want to put it right to the bottom or leave a little gap. I think I'm going to leave a little gap. Beautiful. I love little sticker borders like that. Now, I want to use something like that. I like putting a sheet of, or a piece of paper, and it goes right to the edge of the paper here, like the background. I like that look. So let's see how big that is, and then we can cut it down. So 6 3/4, and then I'll make it by 7 1/4. Okay. So 6 3/4 this way. 6 3/4. On this trimmer, it's really hard to tell where that 6 3/4 is, but it doesn't have to be precise. So by 7 1/4. See how nice that looks? I really like how that looks. And then we'll put the photo right in the middle, or even we can go like this. My journaling is going to go in here. Now I could do this and then do this like that. Ooh, let's cut a piece of yellow. Look, it's the perfect width. Perfect width. And then this way, I think I'd probably want to go, I'd rather cut it bigger and then have to cut it down than cut it too short, because I don't have a lot of that yellow left. Okay. I like that. I love layering pattern papers. It's probably one of my favorite things to do. And a lot of times how I get to do that layering is with scraps, right? Maybe this way. So I can play with the direction of the pattern paper too. So I can do this. And I can make it so it's right up against the side here. And then do this. And then I have quite a bit of embellishments here. So we can kind of see, you know, where the rest of the layout might. I probably won't use this because I made a pocket, right? And I could have put this over top, but I like the Oh Happy Day instead of Beautiful Dreamer. Now I can maybe do an embellishment cluster with the journaling, which I love doing. So we can do something like this. I'm going to consider this like part of my embellishments. I might still do 3 embellishment cluster, but at least it gives me, okay, do I want to put one maybe down here? Do you know what I mean? Like, it makes me think, okay, I want to make sure that I bring this in the eye as part of my embellishment clusters. So I'm probably going to go right over that border. It'll bring it in. And then we have, I think here I'll probably put the camera, and up here I'll probably put the flower. And then there's a couple of little birds that I'll try to put in there. Maybe like this. Or maybe I can put the pocket back here. Right? Doesn't necessarily have to touch, because I kind of like the pocket to be by itself here. I don't know if I want it close to the photo and then do my embellishment cluster here. I might do that. Okay, it's time to start gluing stuff down. Too many moving pieces here. So I think I'm going to use it. I like this side of the pattern paper too, but I wanted to use some of it as a layer because I do like those polka dots. And then I'll use the other side too, just to cut out some cameras. But for this page, I have a sticker. So I'm going to bring in my photo so I can kind of gauge where I'm going to put that second pattern paper. So I don't have to lift it up. Might as well glue it down perfect the first time. Then we'll do this, and I think I'm going to put this close to the photo, and I'll do an embellishment cluster right here. Just like that. And I'll just put, you know, a piece of grid paper in here, or I'll grab one of these cards from Project Life, which is also a grid. And then I can, actually, I don't need to put anything. It just kind of sits there, and because of the notch, I can lift it. So we can do that. We'll put that in there right now, might as well. And I think I'm going to put this cluster right at the corner of that pattern paper here. So I'm going to cut this in half. And we're going to start gluing. Now, if I had like, you know, sometimes we have these big embellishments and we're like, "Ah, I don't know what to do with those." This would be perfect for something like this. This I'm going to use somewhere else. I'm kind of wondering, do you know what I'm wondering? If I should cut all this out and then put it right there. Would that be pretty? I think that would be pretty. And I don't need to make it like a perfect cut. And the thing with cutting, your scissors shouldn't be doing this. You should be turning, like you can do that for here. What I like to do is get rid of that, the bigger part of the paper, and then you have less to hold on to. So then it's easier to use. And then turn your paper, and the scissors shouldn't be moving. The only thing your scissors should be doing is this, very slowly, one fluid motion, and then you're turning your paper where you need the scissors to go. And then your paper won't have that, you know, that rough cut because you keep doing this. That's what I found that has worked for me. And I'm going to tuck this underneath. Yeah, like that. Okay. Yay. Okay, it's like I put a piece of washi tape there or something, you know? And it kind of fills up that yellow because it was kind of a lot. And then I'll put this down here. Just like that. And then this, I mean, it looks funny, but I know that this is pretty big, so I can cover a lot of that. And then I get to see that 1.5 inch circle too. And it kind of finishes off that border. And it's the same flowers because it comes from the same collection. One thing I'm doing is, I don't know if you've noticed, but I am picking up the garbage as I go because I don't want my room, and I keep saying that, right? But I've put many, many hours on my room right now. So I want to make sure that it stays clean. Okay, I'll do that. Okay. Do I want to put it this way maybe? I just like those two things to go upwards. So I'm gonna change the direction of that. I think I like that better. No, I think I like, keep changing my mind here, but I'll tell you why I decided, because you see how this is rounded and then this almost continues that rounded look, and the other way it was kind of sticking up and down, which sometimes that's the look I'm going for, you know. But right now when I look at it, it's like, nope, that's not what I want. I'm going to put this guy right here. Then is this big enough? And then I won't have to cut that last, yeah, that last viewfinder. So we'll put it about at 4 inches in. Always thinking about the rule of thirds. We'll get this. Now we can flip this over and cut this off. Now, I know I want those little birds. I'm going to do the flower first. Do I want it this big? Yeah, I think I want that. And the two birds, I think I'm going to put one here. And then I'll put one right there, just so he stands out there. And all I have left is these little 2 flowers. Okay, do I have another of those labels? I thought I did. Okay. Maybe I'll keep these flowers for another layout. And I have some in here. I was going to say, I'll put those on here, but the reason I'm not is because then I can put this with a layout that has blue elements or embellishments. Okay, this can go in my little tub. I won't need this. This can go in my little tub. I'm just looking. I'm pretty sure I had 2 of those. I can only find one. I'm sure it's somewhere. First place I always look is on my my ATG because, okay, it always seems to stick there. All right. We will do this one here just to broaden it a little bit more. And then, should I put one over here? Like maybe behind that bird. Sometimes there's really no room for anything else, so. And I'm okay. Okay, perfect. Let's use this little guy and stick him underneath. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to go and get some enamel dots. I'm trying to think. Blue or pink? Oh, those are perfect. I like that color of blue, so we will use these. And we'll put the next one over here. And the last one we will put here. So I just need to do the journaling. Now I'm trying to think of a title. That can be my title, Oh Happy Day. And then I have, this to explain why this was, a happy day. Okay, so that is going to complete the layout. To use the tool, the pocket tool, and make a pocket and use it on your layout.